Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another diamond moment. The diamonds in our lives are produced through time, heat, and pressure. It is not what happens to us during that pressure, but what we do with the experience that turns it into a diamond. I'm hoping that you are following along and that you're making the necessary changes in your own life to be able to achieve anything and everything that you want. This process of becoming starts with one single step. It's one after another after another. And at some point when you look back, you won't recognize the area that you're in now because you have been able to reach the place that you wanted to in life. When we talk about becoming being a process, and that process changing things, it absolutely does. Small changes can change everything. And hopefully the changes that you've made in your life, you're beginning to see how all things are looking different to you at this point. Everything should look different to you at this point because you are different. The people that you're around, the way that you interact with those people, the way that you feel inside of yourself, you should be able to see some changes that were not there at the beginning of this journey, at the beginning of your process. When we're looking at those small changes changing everything, we also have to realize that that still small voice within us many times is the guidance and the direction that we need because none of the signposts look the same. So we listen deeply to within. We feel the way that we feel can give us some clues to the direction that we're going and whether we're going in the right direction. We talk about that gut instinct, going back and feeling how we inside. Inside. Is there peace or is there some disturbance? If there's peace, taking small steps to move forward. If there's a disturbance, giving ourselves the time that we need to figure out, why do I feel this way? What is it that I'm actually feeling? And once we do that, we're lining ourselves up with the change that we want to make in this process of our individual becoming. As we change, and as the people around us change, we should be able to see something going on even with those who are around us. If we change, our family changes. If our family changes, our community changes. When our community change, our world can change. And so every small step that we make is actually a very large step. Every change that we make to the positive can also be a positive change within the structure, the social structure of the people that are closest around us. So I'm hoping that you really are taking this becoming process in your life very seriously. I'm hoping that as you grow and as you develop, the things that maybe you overlooked or didn't deem to be as important will become more and more important because some of the day-to-day living activities are not so greatly in the forefront of your mind that you can't see anything else. I'm hoping that as you grow and as you develop and as you become more of who you were destined to be, that your becoming will lead you into areas that again will have a direct influence on others. When we look at our world, when we look around us, when we look at some of the decisions that are made on our behalf, and we know that that does not speak to me, well, how do we make a change with those decision-making processes? that will more accurately reflect who we are. I've talked to you before, and I've said this, and I will repeat it. Many times we have a preconceived idea of what a person is. We've never talked to the person, but we just, through tradition, feel as though we know who a person is or what they think. And I'd like for us to challenge those things. Even in terms of what we may think that we understand about ourselves, to challenge those things. If you live in the United States and you know we have an election that is coming up, and we have a very divided country, whether we want to admit it or not, whether we feel as though we're separate from others or not, it still is the reality for many people in our communities. And for part of that, people have looked to their faith tradition, their churches, in order to tell them, where do we stand on an issue? I believe sincerely that the role of others telling you how you feel on a position is coming to a close. And I believe that it will require your connecting and reconnecting to that still small voice within. There are a number of people, even within the church, that have subscribed to a candidate that has no problem with overtly lying, with taking from people, with deciding that they're going to do things their way no matter how it affects someone else. And so rather than follow the band, we need to look deeply within ourselves and determine what we feel good with, where we feel that we're on solid ground. And it's not just in an election season, it's in everything that we do. We need to listen to within, because that is the source, that is Creator, that is God, that is attempting to lead us to where we have been asking to go. When I say that everything has changed, when you look around, you'll be able to see those changes if you're not so glued to a particular side that you can't see it. If you look around, you'll be able to see the changes that are taking place around you. And once you see those changes, there's some decisions that have to be made in your own life. Where do you stand in the midst of things? Do you like the way things are moving in your life, in your family, in your community? And if you don't, what is it that you plan to do regarding those things? We are really at a different place than we've ever been. And hopefully, you're able to sense the change that is around us all. We're at a place in our world where we need to be aware of the needs of other people. We need to understand that as a part of becoming, we're supposed to become more loving towards the people around us, more loving to the world in general, more forgiving and giving to those who have less. But sometimes we're so concerned about our day-to-day existence that we're not able to see the needs around us. So I'm hoping that as you grow and as you experience the stages of your becoming, you are moving out of a place of so much personal need until you're becoming aware of the world around you. We've been in a period of change now for quite a while, and I believe that it will only become greater as we move forward, that it is so necessary for us to love other people, to not be so mindful of our differences, but to become more aware of those things that make us alike. As human beings living in this world, I hope that your becoming will cause you to be a citizen of the world and not just a citizen of your 10 block, 20 block neighborhood, because the world is so much larger than that. To begin to see outside of the four walls that surround you and be able to put yourself in a global perspective where people are in need, where we do have wars that are taking place, people that are being affected in ways that it will take generations to heal. But if we don't start to heal, it will be that much longer before we can heal. So make some decisions about your life. Make some decisions, hopefully, that will lead you in the direction of loving other people. Make some decisions that hopefully will lead you in the direction of becoming who you truly want to be. Making that change in your life. Listening deeply to what is occurring in your heart. Feeling whether or not this is the right path for me. Sensing whether I've made the correct decision or maybe I need to think this through a little more. When you come across those areas that still are hurt, that you can tell that the damage has taken place, taking that time to reevaluate those areas and to sit there and figure out what is it that I'm actually reacting to, and determine who it is that you genuinely want to be in this life. We have the ability to become anything that our heart desires, but we have to know what our heart's desire is. If you're having trouble determining what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to change, then I invite you to take a Diamond Journey through the Diamond Journey Journal and take that time to get familiar with who you are now, to meditate on where you want to be and who you want to be, to speak affirmations to yourself about what you really have the potential to do, and then do that. Join me on NoomVibe, which is the new entity that Wisdom now has become a part of, and also on FanBase. And please visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com.